Since Repair Clinic encourages you to perform this procedure safely, a warning icon will appear when you should use caution. Many Troy-Bilt lawn mower repairs will require some disassembly of the product. These are the tools you'll need to fully disassemble and reassemble the mower. Before you begin the procedure, make sure the engine has cooled. We also recommend there be little or no fuel in the tank. For safety, detach the ignition coil wire from the spark plug to prevent the engine from accidentally starting. If you need to replace the front axle assembly or transmission, first tip the mower back and use a weight to hold the handle assembly down. Using a 9/16" socket, unthread the nuts securing the two front wheels. Remove both wheels. Slide off the two drive gears, along with the wheel guards. Now use a 3/8" socket to unthread the 7 lower screws securing the front transmission cover. Next, unthread the two upper screws securing the cover. Pull the wheel adjustment lever outward so you can fully detach the cover. Remove the two drive shaft bearings. You can now slide the front axle assembly off. To uninstall the transmission, detach the belt guard and release the belt from the drive pulley. Use needle nose pliers to depress the tabs to release the drive control cable from the transmission. Then detach the end of the cable from the support. Now use the needle nose pliers to depress the tab to release the spring insert, and you can remove the old transmission assembly. To prepare the new transmission assembly for installation, transfer the spring and insert from the old assembly to the new one. Position the new assembly on the support and snap the spring insert into place. Reattach the drive control cable to the support and snap the cable into place in the transmission. Realign the belt on the drive pulley and replace the belt guard. Align the front axle assembly on the transmission support. Slide the two drive shaft bearings onto the axle and fully insert them into the axle plates. Make sure the bearings are positioned in the notches in the support. Hold the axle assembly in place as you reposition the front transmission cover by first inserting the tab under the belt slot in the deck. Make sure the drive cable is positioned in the notch in the cover. Pull the wheel adjustment lever outward to properly align the front of the cover. Replace the 9 screws to secure the cover starting with the lower middle screw. Reposition the wheel guards, followed by the two drive gears. Align the two front wheels and thread the nuts to secure them. To replace the mulching blade or the blade adapter, use a wood block or a blade removal tool to secure the blade. Use a 5/8" socket to unthread the bolt securing the blade and the blade adapter, and you can remove the blade. To uninstall the blade adapter, use the 3/8" socket to unthread the two mounting screws securing the engine housing. Set the housing aside. Detach the drive belt from the blade adapter to fully remove it. Reinstall or replace the blade adapter by aligning the component on the drive shaft and looping on the drive belt. Realign the engine housing by inserting the tab into the belt slot in the deck as you position it over the adapter. Rethread the mounting screws to secure. With the cutting edge facing downward, realign the blade on the adapter. Reposition the mounting plate and thread the bolt. Use a torque wrench to torque the bolt to manufacturer's specifications to fully secure the blade. Then remove the wood block or the blade removal tool. Remove the weight and return the lawnmower to its upright position. To uninstall the rear axle assembly, first remove the grass bag and frame if necessary. Now lift up the rear of the mower and use wood supports to support the deck on both sides. Use the 9/16" socket to unthread the mounting nuts, securing the two rear wheels. Fully remove both wheels. Next, pull the wheel adjustment lever outward to release it from the axle support. Use a 3/8" nut driver to depress the retaining tabs on both sides of the axle support to release the axle assembly. Prepare a new rear axle for installation by transferring the wheel adjustment lever handle from the old assembly to the new one. You can use a small flathead screwdriver to help do this. Now align the axle with the support and snap it into place. Reposition the wheel adjustment lever. Realign the two rear wheels, and thread and tighten the mounting nuts to secure both. Remove the wood supports. If you need to replace the mower's rear door, lift up the door and place vice grip pliers on the pivot rod. Use a hammer to strike the pliers to slide the pivot rod out the right side of the rear axle support. With the end of the rod accessible, you can use the pliers to fully remove the rod. With the rod removed, you can lift off the old rear door. Prepare the new rear door for installation by transferring the left and right torsion springs from the old door to the new one. Insert the left side spring into the new door and rotate clockwise to seat it. Insert the right side spring and rotate counterclockwise. You can use a large flathead screwdriver to push the end of each spring into place. Now align the new door on the axle support, making sure the end of the springs are positioned on the outside edge of the support. You can use the screwdriver to help do this. Reinsert the pivot rod through the right side of the support and tap it into place with the hammer. You may need to use the screwdriver to help fully seat the rod. With the rod in place, confirm the rear door rotates freely. To uninstall the upper handle assembly, use a Phillips head screwdriver to unthread the 3 upper screws, securing the drive control handle housing to the handle. Detach the housing and use wire cutters to cut any zip tie retainers to fully release the drive control cable from the handle. Now squeeze the bail arm to release the left side of the arm from the upper handle. Detach the brake control cable from the arm. Rotate the bail arm upwards to detach the right side from the upper handle. Cut any zip tie retainers securing the brake cable, then detach the brake cable from the handle. Next, unthread the wing nut to remove the starter rope retainer. Now use a 7/16" wrench to secure the nuts and a 9/16" wrench to unthread the bolts, securing the left and right sides of the upper handle. Note the location of the adjusting bolts, then unthread the 2 adjusting bolt wing nuts to fully remove the upper handle. To reinstall or replace the upper handle, align it with the lower handle sections and insert the left and right side mounting bolts. Thread the nuts loosely. Insert the adjusting bolts into the appropriate holes. Thread and tighten the wing nuts. You can now fully tighten the mounting bolt nuts. Secure the brake control cable on the upper handle. Now insert the right side of the bail arm into the right middle hole of the upper handle. Insert the Z end of the brake control cable into the hole in the arm. Then insert the left side of the arm into the upper hole in the handle. Insert the starter rope retainer into the handle and thread the wing nut loosely. Depress the bail arm and gently extend the starter rope. Position the starter rope handle in the retainer, then tighten the wing nut. Position the drive control handle assembly on the upper handle and replace the 3 screws to secure. Use new zip tie retainers to secure the cables as required. With the reassembly complete, reattach the ignition coil wire to the spark plug. Refill the fuel tank if necessary, and your lawnmower should be ready for use.